The Five Eyes Intelligence Alliance, the same group that coordinates Western signals intelligence, just issued their first ever joint security mandate on AI. Not a warning, a mandate. That tells you exactly where we are. This is your weekly AI briefing from AEOBRO.com. 5 stories: what happened, what it means, and what you should be thinking about. Microsoft and OpenAI have restructured their partnership in a significant way. Microsoft's license to OpenAI's models is now non-exclusive, meaning OpenAI can sell access to its models through any cloud provider it wants. Amazon, Google, whoever. Revenue share payments to Microsoft are also now capped. This is a clean break from the model that made Microsoft the default AI cloud. Since 2019, the logic was simple. OpenAI builds the best models, Microsoft gets exclusive cloud distribution rights, every enterprise that wants OpenAI goes through Azure. That playbook is over. OpenAI is now a model vendor that can go wherever the business is. For Microsoft, the exclusivity premium disappears. Azure still has significant advantages in enterprise relationships, but they are no longer the only on-ramp. The quiet winner here is Amazon. AWS has been building AI infrastructure aggressively. Their Bedrock platform, their Trainium chips, their Anthropic relationship. OpenAI, now available on AWS, is a significant shift in enterprise AI procurement, and it arrives exactly when AWS is positioned to absorb it. Watch how Google responds. While the cloud market reshuffles, the governments that watch the infrastructure are issuing their first warning about what's running on it. On May 1st, 6 national cybersecurity agencies published a coordinated 30-page guidance document titled Careful Adoption of Agentic AI Services. CISA and the NSA from the United States and partner agencies from the United Kingdom, Australia, Canada, and New Zealand. This is the first time these agencies have issued joint guidance specifically on autonomous AI agents, the AI systems that take actions in the real world, execute multi-step tasks, and operate with minimal human oversight. Their core warning: AI agents are already running in critical infrastructure, power, finance, healthcare, with dangerous levels of operational autonomy and no governance framework in place. The specific risks: privilege escalation, meaning an agent gaining access beyond its intended scope, unpredictable behavior under edge conditions, and supply chain vulnerabilities in the third-party tools agents are calling. When 6 Western intelligence agencies coordinate on a policy document, they are not speculating. They are describing something they are already observing. For anyone deploying AI agents in enterprise environments, this document is your liability map. The frameworks that regulators, insurers, and courts will reference when something goes wrong are being written right now. Get ahead of it. From infrastructure to the device in your pocket, Apple just made a decision that changes the AI model market permanently. iOS 27 will introduce an extensions framework letting users choose which AI model powers Siri, writing tools, and image playground. ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude are all being tested. Full announcement expected at WWDC on June 8th. This ends ChatGPT's de facto exclusivity on iPhone AI features since iOS 18.2. That single default drove enormous distribution for OpenAI. That default is now a user choice. The iPhone is the most widely used consumer device on Earth. Whichever AI model a user chooses as their default becomes their primary AI interface, the one they interact with dozens of times a day. Consumer preference becomes a real competitive signal for the first time. Anthropic, Google, and OpenAI are all going to be competing for that default toggle. The model quality race just got a consumer dimension it didn't have before. AI is moving from a technology industry story to an industry-by-industry transformation story. This week, pharma made its largest commitment yet. Novo Nordisk, the Danish company behind Ozempic and Wegovy, currently the most valuable company in Europe, announced a full company AI integration with OpenAI, not a pilot program. Drug discovery, manufacturing, supply chain, commercial operations, and workforce upskilling, all of it by end of 2026. Competitor Eli Lilly has already committed $2.75 billion to AI drug discovery. Both of the world's leading obesity drug manufacturers have now made AI a core pipeline strategy simultaneously. Drug discovery is one of the most expensive and failure-prone industrial processes that exists. AI's ability to model protein interactions, predict trial outcomes, and identify candidate molecules at scale could fundamentally change that. When the two companies most invested in the next generation of obesity treatments both commit at this level in the same window, that is a signal. This is about competitive advantage in a market worth hundreds of billions of dollars. The final story this week is the one with the broadest implications for anyone who depends on the web to reach customers. On May 6th, Google announced 5 updates to AI overviews and AI mode specifically designed to send more traffic back to publishers. It is the most direct acknowledgement Google has made that AI search is damaging the web's economic foundation. An Ahrefs study found that AI overviews correlate with a 58% reduction in click-through rates. Penske Media has filed an antitrust lawsuit. The EU is actively investigating. The number that matters? The rate at which Google's AI site's top 10 ranked pages dropped from 76% to 38% in the past year. Ranking first on Google no longer means being cited in the AI answer. This is what has given rise to Generative Engine Optimization, GEO. The question is no longer just, do you rank? It is, does AI understand your content well enough to cite you? Ranking is about links and keywords. Being cited by AI is about structured data, clear entity definition, and semantic clarity. Different strategies, different infrastructure. If your business depends on Google traffic, you are operating on an assumption that may no longer be true. For a growing share of queries, AI answers the question before anyone clicks. Making your information readable and citable by AI systems is no longer optional. It is the new baseline for being found online. Step back from the 5 stories, and one pattern runs through all of them. The rules that governed how AI models reach users, how AI agents get deployed, which AI sits on your phone, how AI transforms industries, and how AI determines what gets seen online, all of those rules changed or started changing this week. We are not in a period of AI adoption. We are in a period of AI-driven structural change, and the frameworks that govern it are being written right now. If this briefing was useful, subscribe. New briefing every week. If you want to stay ahead of how AI is changing visibility and identity online, the AEOBRO newsletter goes out once a week. Sign up at AEOBRO.com. If you want to see how clearly AI systems can currently read and describe your business, build your AI identity profile at AEOBRO.com. The free audit takes about 10 seconds and tells you exactly where you stand. Which of these 5 stories is most relevant to what you are working on right now? Drop it in the comments. Thanks for listening.